Could ChatGPT have helped find my cancer? I found this ridiculously interesting, so we've got to talk about it. So coming up on 2.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney cancer. This is the replica of the tumor that was on my right kidney, and I had a bunch of tumors in my liver. And it took us about 1.5 years to find that. That part kind of sucked. As I was going through the workup process, everybody just thought I had anxiety or that some of my symptoms were attributed to my menstrual cycle. So it was a whole thing. Took forever. But there was a super interesting study that just came out trying to compare the answers from ChatGPT versus the answers from doctors in the subreddit Ask Docs to see which answer patients preferred. Basically, the Ask Docs subreddit is a subreddit that people can go on and ask questions to doctors in, and real doctors can answer. And why I find this study so interesting is because I literally did that the week before I was diagnosed. Look, I was getting pretty desperate, so I was just trying to find answers anywhere. So the week before I got diagnosed, I posted a couple questions on Ask Docs. I was relaying some of my symptoms and then asking things about like my platelets being high and this hard mass I started to feel in my abdomen. I had given my symptoms, said I had talked to several doctors before, and also mentioned that I had high platelets. A Google search will tell you high platelets means cancer. It does not always mean cancer, but that's where my mind was headed, so I went to Ask Docs and I asked that question. This was their response, which basically said your platelets are slightly elevated, but doesn't really worry me if the other doctors weren't worried. And then basically they tell me that I probably have anxiety and I should talk to my doctor about getting on medication for anxiety or see a therapist. I had other comments and posts in here that also just told me I had health anxiety. And this is all I was getting from doctors too, so this wasn't super helpful. But when I saw this study, it made me super curious what ChatGPT would have said. So I thought, what the heck, let's try it out. So I took everything that I had in the comments and posts in the subreddit, and I dropped them into ChatGPT. My worry was I thought I could have had an enlarged liver. So I asked it, could this be an enlarged liver, and do high platelets always mean cancer? And then I went on to give all of the symptoms. Basically that I was a 29-year-old female, I was 130 pounds, had been having night sweats, had some swollen lymph nodes, these really bad abdominal cramps, some GI issues, random pains, and then a hard mass that I was feeling. And then I filled it with the same information of I've seen lots of doctors about this and that I was worried about overwhelming the hospitals. And so I didn't know if I wanted to keep pushing because I didn't want to add a distraction if this was nothing. It gave me a similar answer saying that there could be a number of explanations for this and they didn't all mean cancer, but it also encouraged me to keep pursuing it, saying given my symptoms and concerns, it's essential for me to follow up with my doctor and that if I didn't feel like I was being taken seriously, to seek other opinions or to go to the urgent care. Which is what I ultimately ended up doing and how we found the cancer. I myself probably would have preferred this answer. Let me be quick, doctors are not the bad guys here. I'm literally alive because of some incredible doctors. But could this have helped? I have thoughts in part